When we come back, Mike Miller, and you do not want to miss this. Back in 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ruthless Entrepreneur Show. And on today's show, like I tell you on every show, that's like a broken record, but TiVo this. We're going to have some great information. And with us today, we have Mike Miller. Mike, great to have you here today.
Thanks. It's great to be here, Mark.
Mike is the author of Selling at Combat Speed. You got to check it out as a former military guy. I know where he's coming from. Great book. Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com.
Yes.
Fantastic. Mike, your forte, obviously, is sales training, sales techniques outside the box. Name your company's Primo Solution.
Yes.
How did that all begin? I know you have a military background, but what got you into the sales training aspect of it?
That's a good question, Mark, and a lot of people ask me how it began. And it's kind of, I started in the industry, in the sales industry in Phoenix, Arizona, and I worked for a company for a few years. And the whole idea was, I try to evaluate my values, every so often. I think everybody should. And about 3 years into this company, I thought, I think I can do better. Mm-hmm. I think I can provide a better product, a better service to my clients. I want to be able to be in a place in my life where I can make a difference in somebody's life. So like every entrepreneur, I left that job, started my own company, and here we are. Absolutely, it's a huge change.
Dictate your own income, though, through your own performance rather than the company dictating how you get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I just got back from Asia, did a lot of events over there, and what I found differently in Asia than I did here in the United States is over there they're not blaming the economy for their lack of sales or lack of success. But here, these idiots, they keep blaming themselves, oh, it's the economy, it's the economy. And we know that's not the case. From your experience, what are you finding to be the main barriers to sales success for most entrepreneurs? What's holding them back?
Mark, I'm with you. I'm so tired of hearing that same old excuse about the economy because the economy should not dictate our closing ratios. As salespeople, what we need to do is we need to get out of our way from each other.
Right.
Right now, we're stepping on our own feet. And the reason why is because we've adopted a script as a sales process. Mm. And so many times we use that script and salespeople are asking questions. And without really even listening, they're going back and they're thinking about, what am I going to ask next?
Right, exactly.
Instead of saying, hey, let me just ask you a question, really listening to what you're saying, and then build my next question based on that. So it's all about transforming a process from a scripted process into your own unique selling process.
Instead of blaming the economy for your lack of sales, it's pretty much the process that they're using.
Exactly. Okay. And take a little bit of blame for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Accountability. We hear a great movie, Glengarry, Glen Ross, always be closing, ABC, always be closing. And, I've closed deals from 10,000 to 100 million, and that's not the case. It's not always be closing. I found the biggest ingredient to getting a sale closed was rapport. And, pretty much the foundation for the show today is on rapport building. So give me your thoughts on that. Do you subscribe to the ABC theory, or are you more on building the rapport and building a relationship first?
Yeah, you've heard the phrase that copies for closers?
Yeah.
I say copies for rapport builders. I believe that rapport building is the most critical key in the sales process. And you'll hear a lot of different arguments from different sales trainers, but for me it's about building that relationship, to getting people to open up and be honest and trust and bridge that gap between the prospect and the salesperson.
Right.
As soon as they open up and they become honest, the objections are going to be easier to overcome. The close is going to be the next logical step in the process. But so many salespeople, probably 95 to 98%, leave out that process. They leave out the whole step of building rapport in the entire sales process.
They try to get right to the close.
Exactly. I think you can make the sale in the first 5 minutes, and it all starts with building rapport.
Yeah, well, overcoming objections, closing the sale, it's a process. So in building rapport, what's a good opening question? Let's say you want to get the person talking, the dialogue going. You want to, before you start closing, create that relationship. What's some good opening questions when you finally sit down with a prospect? How do you get them talking? What's some good opening questions that you found?
I got a great first question, and I got to kind of walk you through the scenario. You got the first base, which is building rapport.
Yep.
You have second base. This is the baseball diamond.
Yep,
second base is needs discovery. Third base is the managed presentation, actually delivering that presentation, a customized presentation, and you rounding home and it's closing to overcome objections. Well, I have what's called the redirect, because what happens is the mistake that people make, salespeople make, is that immediately they turn into a transactional sales process. Somebody walks in and they say, hey, I want to know a little bit about this. I want to know about your prices. I want to know about this. And immediately what happens is the salesperson goes to third base and starts throwing up all over their shoes.
Yes. Yep,
right? So the whole idea of the redirect is to take the question, one simple question, say, I'd be happy to help you with that, Mark, but do you mind if I ask you a question first?
Gotcha.
What's your situation?
So if someone keeps hitting you with, how much does it cost? How much does it cost? How much does it cost? what would you do? You redirect them back before you get to that point?
Yeah, they want to know about the cost.
Right,
I'd be happy to tell you about the cost, but do you mind if I ask you a question first? What's your situation? Most people, 99.9% of the people will let you ask that question. And as soon as you do, you ask an open-ended question that gets them to open up and start talking.
So feeding you the information first and then build around that, then take the basis one step at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take that information as a salesperson and I'm taking notes, and I'm going to go back to my notes and review them while they're talking.
Right.
And I'm going to ask specific questions about the things that they've said.
And mold your presentation on everything they told you.
That's where my questions are going to come
Right,
from.
exactly.
It's no longer a script.
Right. So, okay, so you and I are on the same page. Instead of going in there with just some script, some canned presentation, find out who that prospect is, different likes, different needs, different dislikes, and mold it around that specific personality, sell to that specific personality.
Exactly. We both have talked about
Yes,
personalities,
exactly.
and you have to sell those different personality types.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, and you're a big proponent of this as well, I cannot stand people. You go to any bookstore, you see books on selling, overcoming objections, closing the sale, written by people that have never done it. So we come back, I want to dive into that a little bit with you, and then we'll come back with some more great information on selling with Mike Miller. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.